Welcome to Prepper Nation. I am John, of course. Thank you very much for being here and shooting a thumbs up, although you might want to reserve that thumbs up. Going to be a bit of a rant today. It's a good news, bad news stream, but I got to start with this. All right. Do you know what I hate? It's not at the top of my hatred list. Shouldn't have hatred for anything, but I do have a short list, and this is near the top. Commercials. Can I please get, what is it backwoods says? Press 1 or 2 or something. Press a number if you hate freaking commercials. All right, so as I said, this is a good news, bad news stream. So I logged in earlier because I do this. I'm subscribed. I'm a viewer, just like you folks are. And, I check out a lot of other content, prepping community and other communities too, but a lot in the prepping community. And so I got on here this morning, or actually in the living room through YouTube. And man, well, I wrote it down here. The EcoFlow Delta Pro 3. I must have seen, and I swear to you, I'm not even kidding, I must have seen 18 videos populate trying to sell me an EcoFlow Delta Pro 3 that were published today. And I hate this. Every time I bring something like this up, people say, hey, well, John, it's capitalism. These people can do whatever they want to do. Absolutely, they can. They have the right to do it, son. But I have the right to bitch about it here on this channel, and I have the right to tell you this is not one of those channels. All right? This channel is a safe haven from all of the corporate shilling. Like, as many videos that I saw populate this morning, there is no way that all of these creators just woke up this morning and said, hey, man, I think I'm going to post about that old EcoFlow that just came out today. No, they got marching orders. This company is using YouTube. They're using these creators' platforms to sell you crap. You say, well, John, son, there are commercials here on your channel. Yes, I work for Google. Every content creator, monetized or not, you are a Google employee. It is what it is. When I signed up for that, hey, I take the heat for that. I do. It is what it is. But all of this, I can't imagine being a corporate sellout to this point. I can't. That's why I don't do it here. I don't care who that offends. So that's the good news. Believe it or not. The good news is, hey, we are marked safe from me trying to sell you an EcoFlow Delta Pro 3 today or any other day. Buy whichever generator you want to, son, but understand what you're getting yourself into. All right? Just saying. So the bad news, we got to get into some bad news here. Trying to calm down. I'm over here smiling like the Cheshire Cat because I'm about to blow my top. The bad news. There is a banking collapse underway. This to me is important news. The banking system is in collapse mode. But let's sell generators. Let's sell some generators so we can be like one of these little trolls snatching coin purses at the end of whatever it is. The end of the month, the end of 3 months. Spend the money wisely because you sold your soul for that crap, creators. All right, so this is yet another warning about the banking system collapsing. Now, there have been some serious creators talking about the banking collapse over the past, I don't know, week and a half. See, this is what it is. All right, I'm going to get sidetracked for a second. Please forgive me. This is what it is. I've sat around for the longest time and I'm like, how can people be pushing products from this company and this company and this company, knowing full well that we are in free fall as a country? How can they not get on here? Maybe I'm wired differently. How can they not hit record or live stream, whatever the case may be, and not want to tell people this is serious, this is happening, this is how you prepare for it? How do they instead make a choice knowing this? They're either incredibly stupid Okay. But I don't think that's the case. Here's what it is. I think they don't take themselves seriously. They don't take their content seriously. And therefore they just throw it. I mean, there's no way they don't know, folks, that we're in the middle of a banking collapse. But here we go. Yet another warning. I've seen several posts, and I've seen some here. You know, hey, such and such creator said the banks are collapsing. What's going on? I can't believe this is happening. John, what are your 2 cents? I'm at the same desk, in front of the same microphone, sitting in the same chair. I might even be wearing the same shirt. I don't know. That I was at at least a year ago, telling you folks a banking collapse is coming. And I was also telling you why. So we're going to go over that once again, rather than get on here and try and sell you something today or any other day. I'm going to explain why this is happening, because this is something you truly need to be prepared for. You know, and for the folks, well, John, generators are, you know, they're important. I have a couple of older gasoline generators. I know this. But at the end of the day, let's call it for what it is. There's a high likelihood that 90% of you that get one of these Boston generators in a full-on collapse is going to have it taken from you, either by your government, by your neighbors, or by angry mobs. You may not like that, but that's the truth. I would say 10% of the people that catch this video have the stones to protect their stuff. The other 90%, you just pissed away a lot of money to help a smiling creator on YouTube. It is what it is. So I told you a year ago why this is happening. Why? And it's not like I miss Cleo over here, son. I'm not over here reading palms, telling fortunes and stuff like this, okay? It's because it may not always seem this way, but I promise you it is. I take the content that I post seriously. I am not a gimmick. I am not a shill. I'm not pretending to be someone I'm not for the sake of a few dollars from whomever. It's not like I don't get approached by these companies too, son. But I make the conscious decision to make less money to try and deliver important stuff here on this channel. All right. So again, there are some dyslexic creators maybe, or incredibly stupid creators, or creators who just don't take themselves seriously. Maybe they're fake. I don't know. Maybe they care more about money than they do about you. I don't know. But here it is. All right. These creators, I can't believe the banking system is collapsing. If you watch a creator and they have over the past 2 or 3 weeks or so said, I can't believe this is happening, and they get into the banking collapse, they are an expert on being an idiot, or they are lying to you for clicks, because ain't nobody this stupid. I got next door neighbors right now. They're not preppers. At first, I thought they were the ultimate gray men and women. No, son. They just are not preppers. And even they know what is going on. So it is what it is. All right. Here is what is going on. I'm going to break it down on the most fundamental level that I possibly can. Please, if you're brand new, turn the bell tones up. Or maybe if you didn't catch it last year or whatever, maybe if you're a creator peeking in like a crackhead through the shades to try and hate on old John, turn your hearing aids up, okay? So we have a new digital currency on the way. This has been called many things. I've heard it called Fed coin the most. It could possibly be called something else when it arrives. I don't pretend to know what it is going to be called officially, but I do know for a fact that it is in the final stages and it's getting ready to be ushered in. This digital system that is inbound is intended to replace our current cash system, our current cash society. Cash is king. Why? Because you can shop, you can be inconspicuous, you can hit yard sales, you can hit flea markets. People always say, well, there are cameras everywhere. I've stopped at yard sales. They ain't got cameras running, son. Nobody knows I was there. You pass off a Benjamin, you get what you get, and you go home with it. All right. In order for them to install this new digital currency, they must first destroy the existing cash society system. You cannot build a brand new building until the old one is flattened. Why are we seeing a banking collapse right now? They are flattening the real estate and getting it ready for a brand new building, a brand new system, okay? Small banks are failing. Right now, I was mentioning this the other day. Small banks, it's getting crazy. Some of the branches have closed permanently. Some of them are open 2 days a week now. And they have employees. They just don't have people keeping money in the bank. They don't have people taking out loans right now. I mean, there are probably a lot of things, to be honest with you, that go into it. But at the end of the day, it's the same result. The small banks are finished. They're in death rattles mode at this point, okay? Mid-sized banks will fail. They're eventually going to fail, all right? And then what is left, what remains, will be consolidated into what I like to call the Big 10 or the Big 12. I don't know the exact number, but I know it's probably not more than a dozen of the biggest banks here in the United States. They're going to consolidate everything to these Big 10 or Big 12. And then these Big 10 or 12, they are going to help usher in the all digital format. Because the way it is right now, if you have small banks, you've got credit unions, you've got community banks and stuff like this, okay, it's very hard for them to install this because you still have people using other methods. They got options to kind of dance around what's being installed. So this stuff is being cremated in front of our eyes. This is what I mean by a consolidation into the Big 10 or the Big 12. Because once we're down to 10 or 12 national chain banks, they can do whatever they want to. And if paper money doesn't exist, you will get in line with one of these 10 or 12 banks. I promise you. Otherwise, you're not shopping, you're not getting paid, you're not doing anything. If you're going to exist here in the United States of America, you will be walking the line like Johnny Cash. They know this. They know people will complain. People will try and hold out. But at the end of the day, they know they're going to get full compliance with this because there's no other choice. They've eliminated all of the other choices. Okay? At that point, you lose financial freedom. It's called ESG. All right? Social credit. Again, I brought that up 2 years ago because I saw it in China. I saw it starting to take hold in other places. I said, that's coming to the United States. Oh, that'll never fly in the United States. I remember those comments, folks. I got a lot of backlash over that. That's China. That's not the United States. Yet here we are. And you must, again, walk the line and follow the rules to a T if you are going to exist in the coming economy. What do I mean by this? We hit on this sometimes. You're in a grocery store. You've bought your allotment of meat for the month. You were capped out. Now the banks will not transfer the money until you remove that from your cart. This means they do not have to get rid of the Second Amendment. Okay, all that needs to happen here is the Big 10 or the Big 12 get together and they decide, hey, if somebody has an ESG score that is too low, which simply means you're voicing your opinion online, you don't get to buy a gun. You don't get approved for the purchase. We've already seen this through several different, I know PayPal is one, GoFundMe. These places are already doing this. But again, it's going to be consolidated down. We're running out of choices. All right. And this is not, let me be very clear here. This is not a hypothetical that I'm talking about this afternoon. This is fact. There are already 183 countries and territories signed on with ESG, including, guess who? The United States of America, folks. This is how they're going to strip your rights and your freedoms away without legislating your rights and freedoms away. They don't need Congress to vote on this or this or this. All they need is the power of the purse. If you can't spend your digital money on something, it doesn't matter what the Bill of Rights says. You can't buy it. And that's the stone cold truth this afternoon. But again, this will never fly in the United States of America. People still say, they'll still leave comments like that, right? Well, let me tell you something that is flying here in the United States of America. You patriot. All these patriots, man. All these arrogant patriots, right? Chinese-made American flags are flying here in the United States of America. So you tell me how far we have fallen as a country. I'm not being a jerk about it. I'm just trying to give it to you straight this afternoon. All right? Arrogance and normalcy bias have destroyed this country. Meaning, we talked about normalcy bias a while back, accepting things that are not normal as normal, right? The beatings will continue until morale improves and people lining up for the beatings instead of questioning why the beatings are happening in the first place. That sort of thing. And arrogance. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Us Americans, sometimes we're arrogant. We think things can never happen here in the United States of America because we have the ultimate freedom here. Do we not? The freedom to be taxed or go to prison, the freedom to be conscripted into billionaires' wars and sent overseas. It's crazy. It's like this synthetic shock would be the way to put it. And it drives me nuts. This synthetic shock. People wake up every morning. They log into YouTube or maybe other platforms, Twitter, whatever, X, whatever. They log in and they got to find out, what are they doing to me today? What are the tyrants doing to me today? Because there's always something going on. You log into the news, guarantee you they're taking a right, they're chipping away at something, you've been paying it in a negative way. It's always negative stuff. What are the tyrants doing to me today? Then when they find out, then they pretend to be shocked. And this is where the crowd comes in. I can't believe they're doing this. I can't believe the people in charge would ever do this. And then they go out in the yard when they get done posting online and they shout at the sky. I call it the old man shouting at the sky syndrome, because there's plenty of old men out there that just shout about stuff every day and don't actually accomplish anything. They might sell a generator from time to time. And then the next day it's rinse and repeat. It's rinse and repeat. People wake up the next morning. I wonder what they're doing to me today. I wonder what they're taking away from me today. Complacency, as Backwoods likes to call it, but he's a little more colorful with it. Let me ask you a question. You really put anything past the tyrants in D.C.? Do you know? All of this synthetic shock that's going on. Are you really surprised? Are you really that naive and that surprised? Or is it just kind of become part of the routine, pretending to be shocked every day because everyone else around you is shocked? You pay a fee to exercise government rights. Think about that. Government rights or guaranteed rights would be a better way to put it. Rights that are guaranteed to you through founding paperwork of this country. You now have to pay a fee to exercise most of these rights. You have to be licensed. You must ask permission in most cases to use your own private property that you bought, that you continue to pay taxes on endlessly, and you still need permission. And yet somehow you are shocked that these people will do whatever they have to do to keep control over you. Look, can we just, for one day, and I'm talking to the viewers here, I'm talking to the viewers of other communities that may be checking this out, talking to the other creators who may be over here that may be great creators, or again, Maybe the haters. The haters are like my Gatorade, son. Whatever. Anybody that sees this, can we just for one day admit that our society is in free fall? Can we just admit it? Because it doesn't start to change until we're all on the same page. Can we not keep going through the motions of pretending to be shocked every day and just admit the truth? One day, everybody gets together and admits the truth and shelves this synthetic shock that they got going on, and the ShamWow advertisements. For one day, can we please inform people and get people on the same page and not try to sell them crap for one day? Can you eat a little bit cheaper? Shield, I'm talking to the shills out there. Can you and your significant others and your family and your pets, can y'all not just eat a little bit cheaper for one day so you can stop with the sales and being commercialized for one day so people understand what is going on so we can get on the same page? Who knows? You may actually enjoy not selling stuff for a single day, reaching around, finding your backbone again. It may make you feel good. I don't know. Try it sometime. Folks, this is John with Prepper Nation. You've heard from me. Now I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think in the comments. Y'all take care and God bless.